Get focused and combine it with patience. Once you discover what you want to do and what you want to be, it might take some time. So patience is key.
The bamba yera nai doa bia nan zongo lep kamona. Anjo okwa.
But to the youth, I say seek to add value to yourself. Add value to yourself. Whether it is in terms of developing your business, academics, whatever, add value to yourself, and therefore you'll be able to move on in life.
You can look up to somebody like a role model, somebody that you think has made an impact in life.
So why not join me, Abdul-Jalil Naabeli, a son of Musa Kumo, as my guests and I thrill you to life-changing stories. Hello, wonderful viewers out there. It's another Friday, and it's always a delight to welcome you to the program. It is my Northern Achiever on Sagani TV with me, Abdul-Jalil Naabeli. I am a son of Musa Kumo. And like we do it every other Friday, I am here today again with another great personality, a Northern prominent person, an achiever who has done a lot for himself and for the North, as well as the country and the world at large. I'm going for a very quick breather. When I'm back, I introduce my guest and we start the program. Don't go away, stick and stay. We're back shortly. Every week, my team and I work tirelessly to bring to you prominent Northerners, one at a time. They tell us their stories of how they grew up, the struggles they have been through, and how they attained greater heights in life.
I used also to paint Ankura.
What do you guys say? I've shown so many things.
Further, they give pieces of advice to the youth and parents alike that, if adhered to, will change society positively.
I job here. This only Bonle. I only Bonle.
It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
Now, you must trust in yourself, believe in yourself, have confidence in yourself.
You must always pray for people to succeed in their various fields. Then Allah will give you what He thinks is best for you.
Wherever we find ourselves, let's see how do we support each other.
Young people must learn to spend within their means. And to grow, always think before you spend.
So, why not join me, Abdul-Jalil Naabeli, a son of Musa Kumo, with your family and friends every Friday at 8:30 p.m. on your favorite TV station, Sagani TV, on my Northern Achiever, as my guests and I thrill you to life-changing stories. Follow me on social media at Jalil Naabeli, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube page, both at My Northern Achiever, for present and past videos, as well as more info. My Northern Achiever, time is mine. Thank you so much for staying with me. And today, I'm with a politician, a businessman, a selfless human being who has always, over the years, done everything it takes to make the North, to put the North on the national calendar, and to do everything that he can to better the lives of people that are close to him. Today, I am at the residence of Honorable Alhaji Inusah Fuseini, the outgoing MP for Tamale Central, and the former Land Resources Minister, and also former Minister for the Roads and Highways. Honorable, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for making up time in all your your busy schedules to speaking to us today. We are grateful. And I often ask my guests this simple question, and it will not be different with you. We all know you. We have seen you around, and you have a lot of following in and around the country. If I were to ask you, who is Inusah Fuseini, how would you describe yourself?
Well, thank you so very much for this opportunity to engage with you and your cherished viewers. Inusah Fuseini was born in Tamale, Tishigo to be precise, to a woman called Mata,
Okay.
Because my father married two Matas. It was called Mata Nyuhani.
Okay.
So my mother is from Nyuhani.
Okay.
And to a man called Alhaji Abdul-Jalil Naabeli.
Okay.
Originally from Vitim, but took up residence in Tishigu.
Okay.
And so I was born within the Tishigu enclave.
Okay.
To a woman and a man, a woman who was a petty trader, and a man who was a butcher in the family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when I went to school, I also chose my own name, and that's Bistaff. Bistaff.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what does that
know me?
What does that mean?
Well, you know, it has a long history.
Okay.
And I don't think if I start, you will have time to.
But what word is it? Is it an Arabic word?
No, it's not Arabic.
Okay. It was just a nickname.
It was a nickname. Those who are old enough will know that there was a record that was called Big Staff.
Okay.
It was called Mr. Big Staff.
Okay.
And no, so I spelled it Big Staff.
Okay.
Until I was in Bagabaga Training College when a German doctor came visiting somebody.
Okay.
And when he asked my name, I mentioned my name, Inusah, and somebody said, no, he's Big Staff.
Okay.
Then the German then spelled it the way it is spelled now.
Okay.
Apparently, in Germany, there was an old German family that spelled his name the way it is spelled now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Big Staff, tell me, how has your educational calendar been all through your life?
Well, so I started school. I always say that it was an accident of history.
Wow.
My father was in the butcher shop. When we were there as children, myself and my senior brother milling around him and cleaning leaves where it was necessary. For that time, they used to wrap.
Yeah, the meat in the leaves. Yeah.
And somebody came in, a customer came in, saw us milling around our father and asked what we were doing. Our father said we were helping him to sell meat. And he asked why he had not sent us to school.
Okay.
He should send us to school. That was the best he could do for us. And my father took the advice. The next day, he called our senior brother, who is now deceased. He was also called Fuseini.
Okay.
He called my senior brother and told us to send us to school. The first place they sent us to was Zobile.
Okay.
It's nearer.
Yeah.
And that was a third term of the school calendar.
Okay.
And so the head teacher of the school said that my brother should take us home and bring us back the next term, the following term.
Okay. So
which was going to be the first term.
Okay.
But my father being an illiterate, when they came and my brother came and explained that to him, he simply did not understand why he was sending his children to school.
Okay.
And then they were giving him conditions.
Yeah.
And so he discussed, there was an old Savulgu man who was a head teacher.
Okay.
Teacher Idi.
Okay.
That was his name. He was then the head teacher of Chugu Primary School. And he was also a friend of my brother.
Okay.
Dufshane.
Okay.
And so that evening he came around and my father took him around and they were talking.
Okay.
And then he said, oh, if you want them to go to school now, you can bring them to my place.
Wow.
Chugu was far, I mean, from where we stay.
Okay.
We stayed just around the post office.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and to go to school at Chugu that time, the town was not that developed. It was far, but my senior brother was then working at the electricity company of Ghana.
Okay.
And so he had a Honda 50.
Okay.
Okay, at that time. And so they decided that, and there was a bus, this metropolitan bus service.
Okay.
Or that time it was a district, but we're a district then. So they decided that they would send us to school in Chugu. So we went to Chugu.
Okay.
And were accepted in P1.
There. Okay. So from Chugu.
I went to St. Joseph's.
Okay.
I followed my friend, Tapo Isahaku. I don't know where he is now. He's Mushizango.
Wow.
I followed him to St. Joseph's because there was this gentleman who was in our house.
Okay.
Mr. Bila.
Okay.
Who was working with Ghana Water and Sewage Corporation, and he had a car. And he used this, that time they had this 404, which were caravan. And so and he used to pick he had girls. So he picked them to school at St. Joseph. So I thought that we could hitch rides in it. So
were you interested in the ride or the girls?
Well, no. The girls were in my house.
Okay.
And they had become my sisters.
Okay.
And so, but I was interested in the
ride
into school.
Charlie, at that time, riding in
I mean,
the car.
if they dropped you in school in the car, I mean,
Everybody was looking at you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, even if you rode a bicycle to school, it was something. Let
Yeah.
alone a car.
Wow.
And so that's how I got to St. Joseph's.
Okay.
And in my secondary school from 2, I tried my hands at the common entrance examination.
Wow. Which secondary school did you go?
Local secondary school. The great nurse.
No, this is incredible, unbelievable. Yeah. And so sometimes when I see people like you, I always tell the senior high school students to look up to you and be serious in life. Yeah. Because not many people coming from rural schools would rise to this particular point because people believe that they are deprived schools. Yes. Now, how was life for you at Nalirgu?
Oh, Nalirgu was, Nalirgu helped shape my life, made me the humble person that I am, instilled in me the humility, culture of self-reliance, and perseverance. Wow! Because whatever a student needed in school was lacking in Nalirgu. Wow! How did I get in Nalirgu? I passed the commenters, okay, but I had a friend. I told you again, Tanku Isahaku, whose sister had married to the Nairi in the Nairi's house. Okay, and Tanko was my friend. Peer group influence. So he had decided that we should all go to Nalirgu because he wanted to be closer to his in-laws. I filled my common entrance form and chose Nalirgu Secondary School. He also filled his common entrance form, chose Nalirgu Secondary School. I passed. He didn't pass. Wow. So I left for Nalirgu. My father and mother were all surprised.
Lo and behold, you came out from Nalirgu.
I came out from Nalirgu with a second, those days they were second degree. Okay. We used to call it second degree or something like that. Well, first aggregate. Oh, no, I've forgotten. It was second degree. Wow. Yeah, the first.
Yes. So like second and third.
And GCE O levels. Yeah. So I came out with second. I had again chosen, I think that because I was attending far school, the thing had seeped into my, even this, in choosing secondary school, I went and chose Nandong. Sixth form.
So you went to Nandong?
No, I didn't go to Nandong. No. Then that was when my father put his feet down.
I said no.
No way, I'm not going anywhere. And then I went to Baga Training College.
Okay.
Before, how did I go to Baga? I insisted that I must go to sixth form. My father said, Nandong, no way. I said I was not going anywhere. There was a teacher by our house, Ebenezer Adam.
Okay.
He was an old teacher. One day he called me and said, look, while you are sitting down for your father to negotiate for you to go to Tamasco or Ganasco or whatever, why don't you try training college? Just go to training college. You can still be who you are. You can still go to your university later on, but go to training college. I went and bought the forms for admission to Baga Training College on the day they were conducting the interviews. Wow. I completed the forms and sent the forms to, there was once upon a time a Catholic father, who was at Damascus. It was called Father Michael. Okay. So Father Michael, he was finally excommunicated because he married Tapam's daughter. Okay. And they are now living in America. Wow. Father Michael was the person who endorsed my form. Then I took it to the administration. The same administration which is still in existence today. They have not changed.
They have not changed it.
The same building.
Wow.
So I took it there and they looked at it. No go. Well, I have forgotten the name of the... Go was the senior housemaster, but there was another... Oh, I forgot. Mr. Django. Okay. Django was then acting as the principal. Okay. So I took it to them. They looked so angry. They were, okay, it was encouraging, but they didn't know why I had not even thought of training college to come. All that while. Whether I was actually interested in coming to training college. Anyway. Yeah. So they asked me why I was now filling the form to come to Batco. I said, Batco was not my first choice. It was not my first option. And that I wanted to go to SISFOM. But because it was difficult getting into the SISFOM, I had decided to come to Batco. I'm telling you, when I left the interview, they said I knew they would take me because I gotten the 6 credits, including English and Maths. So I came out of the interview and they followed up and met one Simon and asked Simon whether I was a weed smoker when I was in school. Simon said I didn't even smoke cigarettes.
Wow.
Simon too became a teacher, but he went to the one in the Upper East region.
Okay.
I've forgotten the name of the school. He went St. John Bosco.
Okay.
Yes, he went there. So Simon could not get admission to Batco, but he got admission in St. John Bosco. And I got admission. That's how I became trained as a teacher and came out, taught in Yankpala.
Okay. How many years did you teach as a teacher?
So many years. So many years. I taught so many years. Look, I taught in Yankpala. I taught in Vitim when it was a junior secondary school. Wow. Vitim.
Yeah.
I taught there. I taught them English. After Vitim, I left for Libya and taught Libyans English.
How did you get to Libya? What were you doing there?
I was teaching.
So it was the teaching that took you to Libya?
Yes, they had come, and the Gaddafi, they had come to Ghana, and they wanted teachers. So I went to Libya to teach.
You are a real hustler.
Yeah, really. Oh, that's why sometimes people who don't know think that life don't come easy, my brother.
Wow.
I mean, you have to put in effort.
From Libya, did you come back to Ghana to now go to...
I came back to Ghana.
To proceed with
my education.
So which school did you go?
I didn't go to any school. I sat examination. I was more than 30 years, so I sat the mature students examination
exams, yes.
and passed and went to Legon to do my law.
You are a big man. you are a big man. You know, so you know, I'm being encouraged.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm beginning to learn a lot more from you because I usually learn a lot from you from afar.
Yes.
Getting close to you is getting me gingered up to do a lot more things.
Yeah.
But how did it go for you in the law school and after completion?
So in Legon, I salute Professor Mensa Bunsu.
Okay.
There was people from Achimota, from big schools. Then they admitted about 100 of us.
Wow. That's why I say you are a big man, because those days they said they could apply, a lot of people would apply, and at the end of the day, just a very few.
Even when you got into the law
There's
faculty.
still some sieving.
So when we got into the law faculty, then Professor Mensa Bunsu came to the class and said, look, gentlemen and ladies, you are freshers in Legon, Faculty of Law. At the end of the year, we are going to select 40 of you to read LLB and 20 to read BA, to combine. The rest will have to find spaces in other faculties.
Wow.
Now, so consider the one who is sitting to your left as a potential competitor. To your right, in front,
and then
or
behind you.
That is it. And it is going to be by merit. I think that fired me up.
Wow.
And
you said even if it's going to be two people.
I just dived into the books and started reading. I mean, I was not reading abridged cases.
Wow.
Any reference they gave us, I read the original material. I was not reading abridged cases. I had time. I thought that having been admitted to read law had offered me a unique opportunity.
How well to do were you at the time?
It's not about being well to do. Because I was a teacher, I went to Legon on study leave.
Okay.
But it was not about being well to do.
So were you the one?
And I was married. I was looking after 3 children and a wife.
We are going to come to talk about this and more after this commercial break, because you know, lawyer is actually beginning to reveal a lot to us as youth. And let's go for a quick break. We are back shortly after, and then we continue with this session. Every week, my team and I work tirelessly to bring to you prominent Nordness, one at a time. They tell us their stories of how they grew up, the struggles they have been through, and how they attained greater heights in life.
I used also to paint Ankura.
What didn't I saw? I saw so many things.
Further, they give pieces of advice to the youth and parents alike that, if adhered to, would change society positively.
I job here. This only only. I only you couldn't buy.
It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
Now, you must trust in yourself, believe in yourself, have confidence in yourself.
You must always pray for people to succeed in their various fields. Then Allah will give you what He thinks is best for you.
Wherever we find ourselves, let's see how do we support each other.
Young people must learn to spend within their means and to go always think before you spend.
So, why not join me, Abdul-Jalil Naabeli, a son of Musa Kumo, with your family and friends every Friday at 8:30 p.m. on your favorite TV station, Sagani TV, on My Northern Achiever, as my guests and I thrill you to life-changing stories. Follow me on social media at Jalil Naabeli, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube page, both at My Northern Achiever, for present and past videos, as well as more info. My Northern Achiever, time is mine. Thank you so much for staying with me on My Northern Achiever. Today I've been having a wonderful discussions with Honorable Alhaji Lawyer Inusah Abdullahi, big staff Fuseini, and it's been wonderful. We are learning a lot from Honorable, and I do believe that everyone is back on the set, and let's continue with our conversation. Now, Honorable, you were talking about your LLB course, and at what age did you marry? Because when you talk about this, at that time you were already had 3 children.
I married close to when I was about 24, 25 years.
Wow,
very young.
Now, how has this helped you, as an individual?
Well, do you say help? I think that has, you see, when you marry, you can now become alive to your responsibilities. You see, there are certain things you can no longer do. And wherever you are, you must return home. If you can't return home, you must keep in constant touch with your family. So it imposes on you a certain level of responsibility.
Would you advise anyone to marry that early?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I think that if you can marry.
Ibrahim, the artist.
Yes.
You have to marry now because you are achieving a lot for yourself, and I believe that it's about time you settle down. Now, Honorable, you are beginning to confuse me because I don't even know where to go into.
You see, the marriage, again, so let's move it away and talk philosophically.
Yeah.
A little. Our present position on marriage,
okay,
is heavily influenced by Western notions,
okay,
of what marriage should be. And because of that, you will find people who grew up to their 30s, their 40s before marrying, because of the Western notions.
Yeah.
We have now imbibed Western values
into our own
culture, which is defining
the way we marry to these days.
Okay, and when we think we are ripe for marriage, this is just Western culture. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad distance. I mean,
everybody has their time.
No, it's not that bad, except that I don't like the idea of somebody saying that, well, for me, I need to reach a certain age to be able to be self-sufficient
before
I marry. Marriage itself is like a school. Okay? Insofar as you commit yourself to making the marriage work, you will find solutions
to whatever problems that come. Your way.
And the problems that come build you up. They become part of your experience, which you can pass on.
To your generations yet unborn.
To generations yet unborn. And so I remember I married formally earlier than my senior brother,
Okay.
who is now deceased.
Wow.
But one day the wife, and I was closer to my father.
Okay.
Because I was always at home. Probably because I'm married.
Yeah.
I was always at home. And I used to have problems too with my wife. My father would come and tell me, my father would call and say, look, Inusah, you are demanding too much of your wife. But she is a woman and you are a man. And so don't expect her to be like you.
Wow.
You are different and she's different. You have to accept her as a woman the way she is. So many years later, my senior brother's wife was boiling water with a heater. In those days, they had the coil, which was a heater.
Yes.
And she put it on the center table and in a plastic cup and was sitting outside conversing.
And the heater...
The water boiled, evaporated, melted the cup and burnt the table. It was the smoke from the table, the burning of the table, that alerted her. And she ran inside. And the house people, they ran inside. The table was burning. They had to put the fire off. My brother came from the market with me, together with me, and said, oh, I won't live with you in this house. You wanted to burn my property. I've suffered to acquire all these things. You wanted to burn them. I said, no.
We don't do that.
We don't do that. You know why you are thinking that way? It's because she's a woman. Only a woman can do that. If it were a man, you will put the coil in the cup, sit by the water, watch it to boil to the level that you want, and then put off your light. But it's a woman. You see, she was boiling the water and she still wanted to talk.
Wow.
So you have to accept that it's only a woman
who can do certain
things.
Wow, this is intriguing.
And that ended the quarrel.
The quarrel. Wow. So did you go ahead? Did you go on to marry another?
No, I didn't. But my first marriage did not work.
Okay.
So I told you I went to university with children already. I had children before. By the other time I was in the university. But the first marriage did not work.
Okay.
My second marriage ended in
it's a tragic moment.
Tragedy. Yeah. And so I've never married two women at the same time.
Okay.
I've never.
Now let's come back to the education. Let's just fast forward it to when you finished your LLB. What next? What happened next?
So when I finished LLB, I went to. Now let me tell you about let's roll back small now. I'll tell you about because it's important for people to know.
Yeah, sure.
That I didn't go to sixth form. I went to Bat school. I was not the type in the faculty of law who were considered sharp.
Yeah.
Because those who were considered sharp were those who had gone to sixth form and had clocked aggregate 6 and they were now in the faculty. But Mr. Bosu said, well, you are all the same. In the faculty of law, you are all the same. And so this is you're now at the beginning of the 100-meter race.
Yes.
So you are all the same. You are all equally circumstanced.
Your efforts will pull you to the end, to the finishing line.
At the end of the year, I was the 7th person to be selected to read law.
Wow.
And I ended the faculty of law as one of the best 10%. So one of the best 6 students to complete in that year.
Wow.
And I was invited back to the faculty of law as a TA.
Which year did you complete?
In 1998.
Okay.
I was invited back to the faculty of law.
So when were you called to the Ghana Bar?
2000.
Okay. And have you practiced law?
I practiced law with the faculty, with the law trust company.
Okay.
For about 6 years.
Have you had cases on your own that you just went to take up?
Yes, I've had cases, and I've won some cases. So.
You know the number of cases you have taken up? Can you?
Well, you can't tell. I mean, every case is by itself.
Yeah, sure.
The interest and every case is like a drama playing out in court. Okay, and then there are certain things that keep you attached to the case.
Okay.
So there are some cases that I simply can recall and say, look, this case I won it.
So all these years, have you always been in politics, or was that something that triggered you into?
Before even I went to Legon, I was the secretary during the time of Rawlins.
Okay.
In the revolution.
Okay.
I was the secretary to the People's Shop in my area, Ward B.
Okay.
And then so as a secretary, then I came to Legon. In my final year in Legon, I was the team president.
Okay.
The Tertiary Education Institutional Network of the NDC. I was their president.
Okay.
Okay. And so I have always been in politics.
Wow. So now in 2000, fast forward to 2002, you know, while you were saying the prof decided that he was going to cross carpets.
No,
was
not
it in
2002.
2006. 2006. So in 2006, it happened that the Tamale Central MP wanted to cross carpet to another political party. So the seat had to be declared vacant. I think it was the first time in the history of the Fourth Republic that something like that had actually happened. So he thought he would just take his things and say, okay, I'm the MP now. I don't want NDC. I want to join NPP. But they had to declare the seat vacant. And then you contested. Now, how was the primaries like? How did you... Were you...
First of all,
okay.
In 2004, President Kufuor had decided to create more constituencies. He had added about 30 constituencies or so.
Okay.
He had carved out Tamale Central constituency from Chogu to Shibu and Bupiku Sabanjira.
Okay.
So, my party was still in the business of looking for a candidate. I have been warned to begin to put myself in readiness to contest. While preparations were ongoing, that is in 2004, and we were, as a party, we were against the creation because we thought it was gerrymandering.
Yeah.
The Wayu crossed carpet. Okay?
Yeah.
He left the MPP to join the NDC. I remember myself and Haruna Idrisu were the ushers or people who were at the party office preparing for the grand announcement of his defection. Okay, from the MPP to the NDC. Soon after that, I came home and I still remember the first call I got. It was from Dr. Yehuza Gomda.
Okay.
He said, oh, Inusah, don't you think that now that Siniwayu has crossed over to the NDC, we should reward him with a parliamentary seat? I thought that was quite revealing, because why did he have to call me? Probably they had told him
that means that they were trying to put you in that position.
I suspect that they had picked information that they were preparing me for that. I said, okay. And well, so we're all going. And then I started campaigning. Started campaigning. And there was Kunkundana started campaigning. He's not Kunkundana. He's moved on to be a bigger chief.
Okay.
We started campaigning. The one day, a day to the primaries, Professor Atamils called me on the phone. I was preparing to go home then. Some of the delegates had even come to my office to take money for their transport home.
Okay.
And Professor Atamils called me and said, Inusah, I don't want you to contest.
Wow.
I said, why? I'm saying this because now many of our party youth, when leaders speak to them,
they don't listen.
They don't listen. They simply don't listen. And many people insulted me too.
For withdrawing.
For withdrawing. For just listening to Atamilos. I've got many names. Because I don't want to embarrass anybody, I'm not going to. Many people called this. In fact, somebody even told me that having accepted to withdraw, that was my end in politics. That fellow was so livid when he was talking to me on phone that I had to simply ask him, who had put himself up to become MP? Wow. It's me.
So and I'm the same person who is withdrawing.
So why do you think that? Why does it pay you more than me? What is the place you want
I
to
love
be?
this. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Professor Mill said, don't go. I asked him 2 questions. So what party are we building that doesn't reward loyalty and commitment? Aren't we bending
The grassroots
no, aren't we bending the roots, the rules
for some other persons to favor some other persons?
It's good for our party. He said, Inusah, this is not a time for questions. I'm just pleading with you. Look up to me and let's say why your contest. I said, okay, I hear Prof. Then, so a few minutes later, he called and said, oh, don't even go to Tamale. I was in Accra. We were talking in Accra. Don't even go to Tamale. Because if you get to Tamale, your supporters will compel you to contest.
Yes, they will push you to.
They push you to contest. So I didn't go to Tamale. And I didn't, even the money I paid for filing fees, they didn't refund it to me. And I didn't go. Then 2 years later, after winning less than 2 years actually.
Yes.
In April 2016.
2006, right?
April 2006, Professor Fuseini decided to reverse what he did in 2004.
And so the seat was vacant.
So
was
again,
obvious.
Professor Mills called me.
Okay.
And said I should go back and contest the seat.
Wow.
And that they will come and support me.
What a man.
Rollins called me. He said, go back. And he didn't understand why, even in the first place.
You left
they had appealed to me. And he asked me that question. I couldn't answer until somebody gave me an answer. Then I knew that there would be a third time you asked. So the third time he asked,
you gave him that answer.
And that stopped it.
Wow. You know, it's fun, speaking to great people like you. And now let's move fast forward to the Mills Mahama administration. Now, in fact, I want us to concentrate for the want of time. Let's concentrate more on the Mahama administration, Mahama Emisa Atta administration. You won elections and it went to court. And how destructive was the court case to the NDC government?
Well, very. I was one of the first on your sister TV station to make the point categorically that the court case was affecting the development and financial inflows into this country. I was on that program with Gabi Ochiri Dako. He disputed it. He said nothing was happening because they were in court. So he would never admit. But subsequently, they had to admit. Everybody admitted that the 8 months in court affected the inflows. Because people simply...
Yeah, especially foreign investors
simply...
It's more like the country is on a time bomb. Waiting to...
Yeah. So it really affected. In fact, this is why if you are assessing Mahama, people assess President John Dramani Mahama discounting the 8 months. That is an unfair assessment of him. The 8 months was terrible. Wow. The confidence in the country had sunk. It would not even be far-fetched to say that the troubles that we went through was precisely because
of the 8 months in court.
Because things had to be cranked into operation again. Just like putting off a machine and trying to restart it.
Wow, on this putting on a machine and trying to restart it note, we go for another quick commercial break. I'm back shortly after to conclude with this session with Honorable Alhaji Inusah Fuseini. We'll be back shortly. Wow, I am enjoying myself here on my Northern Achiever on Sagani TV, and I do hope you are enjoying yourself too. I'm with Honorable Alhaji Inusah Abdul-Jalil, big staff, a big staff, Fuseini. And we were talking about the Mahama administration and the 8 months court case. But let's put it aside and come to talk about your role as Minister for Land and Natural Resources, as well as the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Now, how were you able to manage these ministries as an individual and as a group when you were in the realm of affairs?
Well, first of all, let's all understand. I don't know how the MPP ministers are managing their ministries, but I know managing a ministry is teamwork. Yeah. As an administrator, you coordinate the various activities of the various units. And you state policy so clearly that all the various units and departments within the ministry will comply. And for me, as a political head, that was what I was doing. Giving directives consistent with the policy of the government. The arising out of the manifesto of the NDC. And I expected all agencies under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to comply. And I must say that I have been very thankful to those people. I mean, everybody at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources helped.
Wow.
And that was why when we started implementing the interministerial task force against illegal mining, we were able to deport from this country more than 5,000 foreign nationals who were on the Galamsey sites.
Now, let's talk about your life principles. Now, what has been your life principles all through your life?
No, you have to, first of all, you must have a can-do spirit.
Okay.
Now, you must trust in yourself.
Okay.
Believe in yourself. Have confidence in yourself. You see, people at any time that you are given responsibility, people will doubt your capacity.
You have to prove them wrong.
That is the beauty of it. Let people always doubt you. If people over-expect, they'll be disappointed. And that's what is happening to Nana Akufo-Addo. He created an expectation in people. And the people are disappointed because he has not been able to meet
their target,
the realistic expectation of the people. Let people, and it's even a strategy of warfare.
Yes.
Let your enemy underestimate you.
Believe that you can do nothing.
Nothing.
Wow. So, chat lamna te po kamane anye MP, ntinye minister halete injina. Nirbo pam dozo pam ka nirbo bobla na kamane. Honorable Inusah Fuseini be songso obenong ben shao. You know.
I don't even get it.
Okay.
Because some can la in many forms now. Some gumpala akrati and zungom bedi
kanta la are kanta banzero.
It could be some, but one side.
One side mbara.
Bambor nebo chang sukuro.
Bambor tuma.
Bambor nebo mi bambor dal la biago. I mean, you can. And the fact is that Abdul-Jalil, I cannot hear the song.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that niveau song
yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that. But as a politician, the man like kama an yechang natin meet phone I chang phone natin meet na chimba ka nguyer pambu pune nguyer karzana ka meet mapune ka meet na ka chang to atla lab na natin meet ba ko biane abon puna woni na chin kana
mani ka me kuto yashal so Kamane, on this note, Sasugo Bobe Pago Kaman as and Pines and Kaman to constituents Zampa because sometimes even the Mala Kaman minister be empty tuma Kunyala Bukubu Tum the Benshaba Kaman you could come to do Ankara Ndirima. So Wulaka and Yale Bone Wumda.
Kabanda Pumba Balusla. We shall have been Kantidi Yada. The Nisal come Ikatiana Mini Nyung Marjire. Ama Akoto Zong Marjire, Nazan Taban Yamangla. I be a young candidate Kanti Zala Songma, Vinyan Dima. So can it. Nason. Kayinata Zongo Patala. The Zongo Mandaba Song and Yerba. Kayinati.
Yar, no so comes as a bound a camane.
Medabi yels to do is on in chapter Yetaban. La Kulhal Ambershell.
Thank I. To kara enda fun bu ale dambala ne zampa da dirsha din chaka able insane shabe ne pressure ma mjanti ya na island labs na ku didin chaka anon smart ka bu na zo ka ce city
I nye politician kami ni sa paya ni ache kuma don abe chokuma ka zan akodi ka kumi na kudi ka kan zan politician bulenya
jargo
Alem Jergo.
Wow. So let's now come to talking about the Nadu government. How would you rate the Nadu government?
Well, Nanado's government, like Mampon Retibat, 9. The Malia Aye Chang Kulga. Mpoe Boati. Not to come. I say, bought my level the Bunaka, my chivo. Narle. Ka abu you bought my catcher to come. I'm a chivo me yelder. I took on one as chivo yelgia, voluya. Come I am Burami, Kalahir bought my. Come I am Bagrami. Kalahir bought money. No, that you empire. Akakom, you laugh money.
So now, is there an alternative? Now I want us to look at this. People are beginning to believe that NDC is not an option. Is it true?
The good thing about politics is that it allows us to compare performance. And when I say performance in all departments of governance.
So if you compare the S.Y. Mahama government and Nanado's government, do you believe that Mahama has another chance?
I'm not even going to rely on my own idiosyncratic view about the performance of Nana Danka Akufo-Addo. I'm just referring you to the Afrobarometer report, which concluded that Nanado's government had failed in all departments.
There was another report on EIU, European EIU or something like that. That is also saying NDC is losing.
Well, I'm not talking about even winning. I'm not talking about losing.
Okay.
I'm just talking about performance.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I got it.
Okay, I'm just talking about performance. And all of us have seen it. I mean, to be honest with you, I fail to see the sense in using more than 23 billion Ghana cedis to collapse financial institutions.
Wow.
When that same money could bail them out.
Now, is there any policy initiative that the MPP has done that you have admired?
What policy initiative?
None.
I don't see any policy. I said that they lack political credibility even very early in there. There's nothing they have done that look, when you talk about their failure, they refer you to free senior high school. The problems of free senior high school in the way they implemented it. the dams. One district, one dam. More than 70% of the dams that were built under the program have dried up. 1 million per constituency. I'm from the Tamil Metro Assembly. And 1 million per, is it constituency?
Yes, constituency.
Good. I'm from Tamil Central.
You have not
No 1 million for district.
It's for constituency.
Is 1 million for constituency?
Yes.
One
constituency, 1 million.
Or one district?
One constituency.
3 years now. 1 million at 5 cities is how much?
Wow, that is at
5 million.
cities, that would be 5 million, yes.
Times 3.
That would have been 15 million.
You know Tamale Central Constituency? Just go around the constituency and point to what activity has been done.
That will show that
15 million Ghana cedis has been
sunk
invested
into that. So for you,
yes,
it's just deception.
There's something like that.
Okay.
If it is there, it is not in my constituency because in fact, I'm using my
your constituency as a case study.
As a case study.
Now, take your election year puni. Take your election year puni mama. Sasugubo kamel na zanti tuzungo bipola mama. Den kwen chaka gamogomo ne yetu aywe kane ka teno election mama salaman.
Anya man yer le biakam. Ayang yibu viala. Ka ya yinga 2016 na yer le kabe bilarma. Instead of amala yang ma kada bien ka bia yang ka ya yinga jump to zoom kulso yinga kay na yang bu viala.
Wow.
Akul she ishar mali rasana.
Yes.
Sana nya yilman.
Yes.
Ka yang bala. Ka ya istaxsam mabi. Lala ka tran nan ka endis luma. Lala ka tran nu ka endis luma. De mo ko me ne pam ko mi no ko mi pam ko mi de ko bagge du kadulo. So bi yi kayam dolo ba ko mi
ne emin baba pilta ba da sai ta paga bon wa aka ba
da sai ta paga yi kul dolo kam dinam ba wa kam dunya.
Wow.
De zo te labna you to yo zo ka so ka blo base te labna te base
so what I will get to years because of couple base aje yet ya aje base ka base no go to so honorable poeka termina na chapter taba nye ka awin awards pam kalala awards ngoma ka da sa nyala ban shishale don tune today te dire fila don mine nta adizo ya pam ka te duru ngoma na in woni sal ne ngoma ikpan yiman pam tumtuma pamti dagbang north nta table Ghana sasa ama lanzo ya pam kan nyala kamar samba nenu nyare yikpan ma ama tanan bande sunete nyare yikpan ma kama mpansere ya diyan chaka bi pala bangba yisna to panse bako ba neten nyala ban turiya biakam. In my hand here is Crystal Leadership Award. It was presented to Honorable Inusah Abdul-Jalil Fuseini, MP Tamale Central Constituency, in honor of your visionary guidance and undaunting leadership skills, outstanding dedication, and service above and beyond the call of duty. Wow. This is that one. Wow. Then I have another one here. There's another one here, and that one is the 5th National Achievers Awards. This is not a Northern Achiever Award, though. This one is National Achievers Award, and that was 2016. And then they said, Alhaji Honorable Inusah Abdul-Jalil B. Fuseini, Minister of Roads and Highways and Member of Parliament, Tamale Central, 1st October 2016. You were awarded as one of the National Achievers of Ghana.
Yes.
Wow.
Some people had appreciated what I was doing. And
yet, we are in Dagbong, our very own. We do not even know, you know, what you are. Look, these are great plaques, and I wish I could keep one of them.
Yeah, you can take one home.
Then we have this one. This is the one I love. You know, I love this one. The way it is, you know that it's an international award. The West African Regional Magazine 2014 Business and Leadership Awards. Business, that was Brussels. Yeah, Belgium, yeah. Wow. Award for Best West African Minister of the Year best West African minister. It's not about Ghana.
I think that the magazine and the people had appreciated what I was doing at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources in safeguarding the resources of the country.
Now they say, for your outstanding performance as Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, where you succeeded in a large extent in flashing out unauthorized illegal miners from the country and initiated moves to review and renegotiate old, stability agreement with mining establishment, which you replaced with newly improved ones, and today the nation's mining sector is better for it. So why is the NPP making noise about, fighting Galamsey?
Well, now you are reading this thing. Okay. We achieve all these things, but we never made noise.
Okay.
NPP we put propaganda first before.
Okay. now I see that. Then we have another one. In fact, I have to finish with this one. And that one is Facts Investigative Services. At Facts, we discover you're lost. And they say, Honorable Alhaji Inusah A.B. Fuseini, Minister for Roads and Highways, adjudged Best Minister for 2015 in Ghana. He was the best minister. So from here, he went on to win the Best Minister for the West African sub-region. Wow. These are, accolades that, people would have to look at and understand that, no, you need a lot more commendation than the ones that we are giving you. Let's stop chastising our own. Let's support our own to, get into greater heights, so that at least people like us would also be motivated to do a lot more for the North and for our country. Now, I would want to take your final words, which would include your advice generally to the youth of the North.
My advice is an advice that was given by my father.
Okay.
And it's still as relevant today as it was when he gave it to me.
Okay.
He told me, Inusah, always strive to improve yourself.
Wow.
Because tomorrow's responsibilities will be greater
than today's own.
Youth, we are young men. So when you have 100 Ghana cedis in your pocket, it's enough for you. You can spend part of it in record dances or in engaging in unproductive activities. But mind you, when you do marry, 100 cedis
would be nothing.
And so the way to live up to your responsibilities is to begin to invest in yourselves. Those who are in school, take your studies seriously. Those who are in business,
take your business seriously.
Whatever you are doing, like Isabello of late used to say, do it in such a way, provided it's a legal activity, in such a way that you'll be remembered for doing what you were doing very well.
Wow.
And that is my advice. There's no middle way, there's no halfway to anything.
And there's no shortcut.
There's no shortcut.
Honorable, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Folks, there we have it. Honorable Alhaji Inusah Fuseini, big staff. And I have learned a lot. And I always say, and I will say it again, that it is not about listening to all these stories. It's about learning a great deal from whatever it is that Honorable has shared with us. He could have decided not to share with us, and we would have been at the losing end. And so if he shares all of these stories with us, we need to build on them as youth, because there's a saying that only a fool learns from his own mistakes. People have made a lot more mistakes that you can learn from, so that you don't go into those mistakes. So my fellow youth, please, let's listen to these stories, carve out life principles from them.